Right. How you doing, my friend? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And you?
I'm good, man. Yeah, so
Uh,
um, you definitely heard the news, man.
yeah,
Gyokeres is apparently, that's you should be happy that's your guy. I'm
yeah,
quite frankly,
absolutely.
I was indifferent. Any of them between Gyokeres or between Sesko, I'm fine. But it sounds like
Yeah,
Gyokeres is the guy. He's all over the news now. Um, the usual ITKs, Fabrizio, David Ornstein. So apparently
absolutely.
he has, he's kind of he threatened to go on strike with um
Yeah,
with Sporting, and it seems it's kind of paid off for him. But one thing I like, you've always said this to me, Ben, is that you like players who want to come to Arsenal.
absolutely.
He actually wants to come to Arsenal. He's made it clear that he doesn't want to go anywhere else, and I think
Absolutely.
that's a really, really good sign. What's your take on this whole thing?
In fact, the latest news we're hearing for that I saw on Twitter, I think it's coming from, anyway, I hope it's reliable, but it says that he has decided to, in order for Arsenal and Sporting to meet to come to an agreement, because they're still dragging on it.
Mhm.
So he has decided to take, is it a 2 million euro pay cut?
Are you serious?
So
Wow.
yeah, yeah, just to make the deal go through. So
Wow. That's that's really,
that's
really good. That's
how, yeah. And we're looking at a guy, he just turned 27 last month. So
yeah.
that's his in his prime.
Yes,
People are wondering that if you come to this club at so age, Drogba himself came to Chelsea when he was close to 27. I
exactly.
had Zidane joined Madrid when he was in his late 20s too. I
Yes,
mean, there are a series of players that joined clubs. And what's his name? Modric too joined at 27,
exactly.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are players that went on to be great players for their clubs. So I can see him at least 5 years. Can expect him to
And
be
it's a 5-year contract too.
it's a 5 year contract. Yeah.
I think in the striker in the football world, 27 is considered the peak of a footballer.
The
So,
peak.
and it makes sense. If you look at the progression of things, last year he scored an outrageous number of goals. So that's someone literally knocking on the door of my peak, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also this worry that the fans say that it is easier to score in the Portuguese league
Mhm.
than to score in the championship. And there's this worry too that he struggled in the championship, that he didn't really score
Yeah.
as many goals. In his first season, he scored 17 goals in
Mhm.
40 games or so. That is not poor,
Mhm.
but it is not you can't call that kind of striker prolific. But
Yeah.
it's just there. It's not poor, it's just average. And then in
I
his second
disagree.
season,
I
so
disagree. Well, go ahead. I disagree, but go ahead. I'll let you finish. Yeah.
in his second season,
Mhm.
Coventry City scored 21 goals. 21, but the championship is 44, is it 44 or so? Okay, 46 games, I think.
Yes.
So it's not the typical 38 games you have.
Mhm.
So scoring 21 goals in 46 games, it's not spectacular.
Mhm.
It's not poor, but it's not spectacular either.
Mhm.
So that is just a concern. And now he's coming to the Premiership. But my joy is that he's coming into a team that will help him.
Yes.
I think the way Arsenal play is going to be very easy for him to get the goals.
Yeah.
Although there's also the worry about his aerial capabilities. I don't know. Someone just threw in that highlights
Mm.
of his aerial struggles.
Mhm.
And for a team that crosses the ball a lot, like Arsenal, I think he needs to work on
Yeah.
his head. He's 6 foot 2.
Yeah.
He's almost the same height with Gabriel.
Wow.
Gabriel is 6'2.5", but they normally approximate it to 6'3". Saliba is 6'3.5", they
Yeah.
approximate it to 6'4", now that. So he's 6'2", and he's the height and size of Didier Drogba.
Yes.
And
Yes.
to not be good in the air is it's not
Well,
something
listen,
that
we're not going. I get it. I get it. Look, you're never going to please everybody. There's not a single striker. There's not a single striker I would say in modern day era right now. You would say even Isaac has his own flaws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Sesko has his own flaws. But let's look about what he's good at. He's a goal scorer.
The reason I love him for is that he's coming at a time when he's high in confidence
Yes.
and he wants to join the club. In
Yes.
fact, I believe he sees Arsenal as the club that where his potential will be really maximized.
I agree. And I
So
agree. And I agree.
I he has Odegaard there to be feeding him, Odegaard
Now wait.
himself.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten the best of him because we haven't gotten the kind of striker
Like
that
he needs exactly to finish. Yeah. No, you're right. So you talked about a few things. Let's start with the fact that Portuguese league seemingly is
the weaker.
lower rating in terms of goals. But my counter argument is let's look at Fernandez.
Okay?
Bruno Fernandez came from Sporting, right?
Yeah,
To the Premier League. And you can always make the same argument, but guess what? He's probably the I think he's highest scoring midfielder every single season in the Premier League. So could it be a thing of saying that, to your point, he's coming to the right team where those chances are going to be created. They just need someone who's prolific to convert those chances. So if I'm going to be optimistic here and say that it's the latter. It means that here championship, it wasn't an Arsenal team. He's gone to a team. Portuguese league is similarly more creative and more open. He's gone to a team where he's a point man. People are sending, beautiful balls his way, sitters, and he's taking them and scoring. So about the aerial thing, quite personally, I haven't noticed it because I've been kind of low key team Sesko because Sesko reminds me so much of Haaland. But let me look at what I know Gyökeres is good at. You know the reason why we didn't win the FA Cup last is because of Odegaard, right? Odegaard missed a penalty against Manchester United, as far as I'm concerned.
yes, I remember. Yes, I remember that game.
Gyökeres is a very prolific penalty scorer.
Yeah,
So suddenly we don't have this thing where notice this team can't play penalty. Even Saka, to be honest, let's be frank. Every time
yeah,
a
yeah,
penalty, all of us are jittery. Saka is not
yeah,
exactly the world best at. Nobody is confident enough to take penalties.
yeah.
This is someone who
It's true.
likes to take penalties
Like,
and he bangs them. Secondly, he takes very good free kicks. Do you know that?
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. That's another thing. We don't have free
Exactly.
kick.
We don't have specific takers. Then you just have someone who just wants to shoot when he faces the box, which you don't have. Everybody just pass, 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 which drives me nuts sometimes. So to be able to have, to me, if I look at these three attributes, I can quite frankly, think about it. How many times we really cross the ball in open play for people to head? How many times? We barely. It's only corners.
Yeah,
So we have people who score goals for corners. I can make, but he's such a big, powerful guy. He's very disruptive. He's going to be a nightmare for defenders. So I'm taking all the wins. If headers is a problem, that's okay. But let's look at what he's good at. Certainly we have a point man. You've talked about it before, where you say defenders know they fear Havertz. They don't care. But this
yeah.
guy is behind a strike. A defender knows that I can't even bomb forward now. This guy is lethal.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
Another reason in fact, one
yeah.
of the first things that made me love him was that he reminded me of Harry Kane.
Yes.
He not at the level of Harry Kane, of course, but I mean, he in style is the closest thing I've seen to
Yeah.
Harry Kane. I
Yeah.
believe that Arsenal is a team that will help him push that potential to where the world can see
Yeah.
his true potential.
Yeah.
I mean, he's that good. I just for Benjamin Sesko, I'm like, look, if you are in the same team, I think he's in the same team with Openda, and Openda is outscoring him in that team,
Mhm.
and I'm like,
Mhm.
no, no, we don't want this kind of stuff. Yeah, he's good
It's 2021.
because
It's 21.
yeah, he's 22.
It's 22.
Yeah,
Same thing.
uh, good in tight spaces, okay, but the Premier League is tougher than the Bundesliga. So if you're only scoring 13 goals, you are still potential, and
Yeah.
there is the likelihood that that potential will not be
May
met.
not work in Premier
So
League. Yeah.
yeah, it may not work.
Yeah.
So if we're paying 100 in the head, Arsenal are, I mean, they are asking Arsenal to pay 100 million
Yeah.
euros.
Oh, for chess, I thought that was ridiculous.
That's just
What? Think about
ridiculous.
it. Why would I even sign 100 million for potential?
Yeah,
No, I agree. That to me, I always assume that if Arsenal was going to sign Shesko, they put their foot down on 70, 75 max. It doesn't make sense. He's only Haaland. Why is he valued on what grounds? Potential.
and look at Haaland. How much did City buy him? I think 50. Any of those.
Exactly. Exactly.
Look
Exactly.
how hot he was in the same Bundesliga.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right.
As
You're
a
right.
he had been top scorer for 2 seasons straight
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
Bundesliga.
No,
Somebody
you're right.
scoring 10.
You're
So
absolutely right. I can't even fault you there. See, listen, I'm very happy.
and
I'm very, very happy.
Haaland himself was very young. Haaland was probably his age when he came.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Haaland was
No.
born in 2002 or so. So Haaland is 23, 24,
Yeah.
maybe around that age. So
All right. All right.
it's
Well, anyway, all around, I'm sure every Arsenal fan did alive. Something else I also want to say is that I feel like for the first time,
yeah,
the club is actually listening to fans. We have been talking about signing a striker forever.
are
When
you
was the last time we
sure?
signed a proper striker?
Well, are you sure the club is listening to fans now, or Ateta has learnt his lesson?
It's both.
Because
It's both. I think it's both. But learned his lesson by not listening to
no,
fans. Yeah, because look at January last year. Even okay, last two seasons, everybody knows. It was you who said something about was it Ryan Giggs or so who was saying that if you look at the way Arsenal is set up, Arsenal is not built. There's the people who own Arsenal don't set Arsenal up. Well, we don't behave like a club that wants to win trophies because our investments in critical times does not align with a team that wants to win trophies. For the past three seasons, if you look at the data, we've conceded less, we've been outscored by the teams that always end up winning the league. So if I look at that, I'm like, okay, this team definitely needs to score more. We have no out and out striker in that team. We've let every single one of them go from Aubameyang to Lacazette. Everyone is gone. Even Eddie Nketiah is gone. But I feel like you're right. Arteta finally giving up on his excess analysis, and you know what? Let's just and this guy is a proper route one striker. He's like Alan Shearer type of
yeah,
striker, old school. Yeah,
yeah, old school kind.
yeah.
He
And so
loves to shoot. He
love to
loves to
shoot. Yeah,
bully his way through defenders.
yeah.
Yeah, I just, uh, and it's good that he's coming in quite early.
Uh-huh.
If they wrap it up, medicals and every today is we're going into seventh,
Yeah.
today is sixth. I mean, Arteta said he wanted him to be ready. He wanted it to be sealed before the 19th when they'll be going.
To Singapore.
For, yeah, Singapore.
Yeah, for the
So
game. Yeah, I think we're playing AC Milan first. Yeah,
playing AC Milan, playing Newcastle,
and
playing
Tottenham.
Tottenham, then come back for the Emirates Cup.
Yeah,
2 matches for 5 matches. That's good.
that
That's
would be
really good.
interesting. Well,
Very,
Zubimendi has been unveiled today.
yeah, yeah.
Um, there's a
The
famous
top now.
there's a famous quote by Del Bosque
Okay,
who
listen
says
to Del
that
Bosque.
yes, he says if you if you watch the game, if you
Yeah.
observe if you observe the game, you will not see Busquets, right?
Okay.
But if
Okay.
you observe Busquets, you see the entire game.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
since Busquets, this guy is supposedly touted as the next Sergio
Busquets.
Busquets. in football because the one guy analyzes so beautifully says he's a dictator. He is excellent at dictating the game, the pace of the game, how he when he wants to speed it up, when he wants to slow it down, and he can spread those long yard passes, which Partey does not do. I love Partey. I think Partey is one of my favorite DMs. But like, if I look at Partey's flaws, um, sloppy a few times, in all fairness, which cost us quite frankly the Champions League, in my opinion. And then that thing that Xabi Alonso does with
I
ease
go ahead.
of flinging the passes, like those long diagonal passes. Partey doesn't do that. He keeps it short and tidy, but very, very physical.
I know I'm a die-hard Party fan, and
Yeah.
if not for this charges that have come that he's facing right now, I really wanted, as in fact, most Arsenal fans wanted
Yes.
Arteta to
Even Arteta
retain
wanted to
Partey.
keep him too.
Yeah. So, but you know, I always said something. We were hoping that Partey will come back in the second game against PSG and rescue Arsenal because we knew we missed him in the first leg. But when he came back, the two goals, you could see his fingers. I mean, you could finger him in the two goals.
Mhm.
The first goal, it was his header. He headed the ball into open play
Mm.
for what's his name? The guy who scored that
Dewey,
Belter.
Dewey.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, not Dewey. The the midfielder was supposed to buy. I mean, the one we were
Um,
linked before
it's not
went
Vitinha,
for
it's not Neves, is it
Ruiz.
Ruiz, Fabian Ruiz, yeah.
Yeah, Fabian Ruiz, exactly.
Yeah.
Fabian Ruiz. So Partey headed the ball directly to Fabian Ruiz, and he did not immediately. He controlled the ball. He shot directly into the
Mm.
net, and I was like, "You can't do this in such a big game.
Yeah.
You are supposed to head the ball to throw in, not head it
Or to the
into
side,
open
yeah.
play like that. Yeah, to the side."
Yeah.
But he headed it directly, and the guy just controlled it and shot and goal and scored. The second goal, but that notwithstanding, we know his worth. We know he's arguably to some of us up there with the best midfielders in the world.
Yes. On his day,
A
Partey is unplayable on his day. Forget it.
his day.
Yeah.
It's just top line.
He has a way of neutralizing your favorite midfielder
Exactly.
completely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's unfortunate it's going through rape and sexual assault charges. And you know what's so sad about this whole thing? His contract ended June 30th. Arsenal literally can't touch him. So the club can't make the club just said, and that's true. They have to, it's the law, it's a contract, it's ended. You're no longer our property. We cannot be associated with you. And I really hate that. Look, I'm not blaming Arsenal. Okay, I'm not. I'm just saying that
Yeah, yeah, of course. I understand what it means.
I don't know whatever comes out of this. It would leave a bit because Part would have just left Arsenal quietly, but now he's gonna be like, so you really will not say anything. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel a little weird about that whole Partey left on his own after 5 years at Arsenal, been a good servant, quiet guy, does his thing. I know he's had his injury problems, but let's be fair, Partey would have left in glory. You know, I just hope that he comes out of it though. I'm hoping that he's innocent. He claims he's innocent. His lawyer says he's innocent. Yes, fine. Because this is a pre it's a build up on a previous situation where he was questioned. So I think what just happened, they just had a new dump of evidence. That's why they charged him. The first time was an investigation. They asked him, questioned him, but now I think it's connected. I'm not too certain, but I think it's connected to about 2 years ago. Remember?
Yeah, two
Yeah,
or three. It's in
yeah, something
2022.
like that. Yeah. Okay, let's see. So talk about Gyökeres party. I know we were talking earlier about Eze. You sound like you don't think Eze is
I,
gonna
I,
happen.
No, I'm a big fan of Eze, and I
Yeah.
love the fact that he's very good in. I mean, he's someone who can play across those that he can play on the right wing, on the left. He can deputize for
Mm.
Odegaard.
Odegaard, yeah.
But I'm looking at Ateta and I'm thinking the Ateta I know
Mm.
so far, the reports we're hearing is that they're just talking to his agents.
Mm.
We haven't heard that they are preparing a bid. You know, these days, if they are preparing, I don't know how they get to know. We
Mm.
get to know somehow. The media gets to know that they are preparing to launch a bid.
Yeah.
But so far, nothing. They seem to be more eager to get Rodrigo, and Rodrigo has given his word, according to reports.
Mm.
I don't know how authentic, but the Saudi clubs are coming for him. There's Al Nassr
Mm.
were in for him. They were ready to match Madrid's demands.
Mm.
But he has told Al Nassr that he wants to go to the Premiership and he's looking at Arsenal.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I haven't seen
That's
that report yet.
what we're hearing.
Mm.
Wait to see how authentic it is. But, and Arteta has shown so much seriousness for him. He's just waiting on him. So
Yeah.
there seems to be a delay for this AZ thing pending what will happen in the
Yeah.
Rodrigo case. Rodrigo. So we'll wait and see how seriously Ateta wants Easy. But as it stands, I know that he prioritizes Madueke Rodrigo over Easy, and that is what I don't want to see.
Yes. Yes. I'm with you. I'm with you. For the life of me, I don't understand the Madueke, and it's not cheap.
That's why
If it
it's
was
not
coming on
cheap.
loan, I'll get it. If it's coming on loan, I'll get it. It's not even coming on loan.
That's why when you said he's beginning to listen to the fans, I'm like, no. If he was listening to the fans, he would not go for this guy,
Yeah.
Madueke. The fans are tired of
Chelsea,
going to
Chelsea
rescue Chelsea
rejects.
redundant players,
Yeah.
Chelsea. I mean, yes, and they almost always flop when they come.
Yes.
If you, I mean, the jury is yet to be out on the Havertz, but
Mm.
if you look at the others, whether it's Willian, it is David Luiz, it is Peter Cech,
Galas.
uh, Gallas, Sterling. I mean, the history is just not
Yeah.
good. It's not good enough for us to continue going back there. And these guys are they are making a mockery of us right now. The reports coming in have it that Chelsea wanted to include Max Doman in the deal, and
Mm.
Arsenal immediately rejected,
Yeah.
immediately refused. You know how Max
I know that.
Doman is
Yeah.
very Arsenal
I,
fans. I mean, he's not the kind of person Arsenal would want to let go at all.
yeah. I think eventually that speaking about Max, I think Max eventually will be sent out on loan. I've watched him a little bit. See, I'm going to be honest with you.
Max is
There,
just 15. He just 15 recently.
no, I
I
know,
think it's
I
too
know,
early.
I know. Yeah, you're right. He's probably going to play through the academy maybe two more seasons
Yeah,
before he goes. Yeah.
the under 18s, under 21.
I still don't. I'm with you. I don't get the Madueke, non the Madueke thing. Now it's potentially going to impact Ethan Nwaneri, who hasn't signed his contract yet, and Chelsea is getting to his ears about opinion to say potentially come to Chelsea, you'll be a starter, but even he will be silly to go to Chelsea. Where is he going to play in Chelsea? Who is he going to bench in
Well,
Chelsea? Is it Palmer?
well,
Listen, Chelsea just signed Gittins from
yeah, but
Dortmund.
Gittins is not a right winger, is he?
No, he can play both sides. Okay,
Okay,
let's
okay.
let's look at Chelsea team. Chelsea will have Pedro. I think Pedro Neves, right? Neves.
Pedro Neto.
Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto. They are going to sell a bunch of players. They have Palmer. They have in the middle. I feel like the midfield they are fine. Their three players are complete. Um, Now, are we saying that if Waneri decides to go to Chelsea, where is he going to play? It's the exact same thing.
See, but the thing there is this. If Chelsea
Mm-hmm.
can give him the guarantee that
Mm-hmm.
look, come, you will deputize for Cole Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal are not giving him that guarantee.
Yeah.
They are going for Eze. So if you are going for Eze who can play as a 10, it means that he may deputize for Odegaard. He
Mm-hmm.
may play on the. So what's the hope that he will have any playing time?
Yeah, but well, we're hearing that, and I hope it's true. And Martinelli or Trossard, one of them would leave Arsenal. And I hope they do. I hope, for me personally, I'll let Martinelli go. And I'll tell you why.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, if we sign Eze, if we sign Eze and a Rodrigo, because it would make sense to me to have Rodrigo, Martinelli, and also Trossard. It doesn't make, we don't need three wingers. Two, I can understand. If we do sign a Rodrigo, I will let Martinelli go. But if we don't sign a Rodrigo and sign Eze, I will still let maybe a Trossard go. That way, Madueke is cover for Saka. Your boy, what's his name again?
Eze,
Ethan Waneri still remains Odegaard's cover, while Eze, to me, should start. Period on the left hand side.
I love what Ateta is saying that he sees Eze, no, he sees Ethan Waneri as a 10 or
Mhm.
an 8. They don't see him as a right winger.
Yes, it's
So
not.
the idea of yes, he's true, he's not.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that darting pace and that
Yes.
uh, winger instinct that
Mhm.
you want to see in top class midfielders. But you know he's very deadly with his left
Yeah.
foot. So he can play that 10 very well and he's very skillful too. So I would love to see him play that 10. So for me, it should be a competition. He should deputize for Odegaard.
Mhm.
But then looking at Eze is very good.
It
What
is
is
very good.
very
Football is so good, man.
and in fact when he was when Olise was at Palace was
Mm.
still at Palace. Whenever Arsenal played against Palace, for me it was never Olise.
For me
Olise
too.
was it was always easy.
Easy.
He was always the one tormenting us with his
Yeah.
dribbles, his move, his
All those
body
tight
feint,
spaces. Oh
spaces.
my goodness, that boy is so good.
Very, it's very good.
Yeah.
So
If I hope, this is me being hopeful that Teta is thinking what we're thinking. A lot of the time last season we suffered with this low block teams,
yeah,
and that's you see Odegaard goes into his passing frenzy of passing back but not wanting to shoot. Eze literally is that guy. He will shoot, and he's very skillful in tight spaces.
I would take. In fact, there was a poll that was done on one of these big
Mm.
platforms where they asked fans to choose between Eze and Rodrigo. Most fans chose Eze
Yes, I'll
because
choose
one,
Eze too.
yeah, I'll choose Eze too.
Yeah, I'll choose Eze.
Rodrigo, I don't know. I don't. Well, he's not. I mean, he's coming into a new league.
Yeah.
I'll just go for Eze. I mean,
No,
I think
Rodrigo, I can't knock Rodrigo, but I would choose Eze. Rodrigo is a very good footballer. Very good footballer. I watch, Madrid is my second team. So, but I right now for Arsenal, right? I will choose Eze. Just because of one, I know that one-on-one dribbles, there are very few players right now who even in the Premier League who are better than him on that side. And he has a bias for the left-hand side too, how he operates. So he's not going to give you pace, and quite frankly, I don't think is what we need. We just need someone who is clever enough to pick those passes, sign yourself a Gyökeres and someone who can lay those passes in front of him to finish. You know, no, I'm excited. Let's see what have we talked about. Let's see what else. I feel like the what's your take on Jakub Kivio and this Mosquera boy? I don't know the boy that well.
listen, Jakub Kiwior, for me, right now,
You think Arsenal will sell him or let him go, Kivio?
I think they will let him go because if I don't know why Arsenal would keep him when I think Arsenal rejected any move for uh, what's his name, the left back, this Italian guy,
Oh, Calafiori.
Calafiori.
Mm.
Arsenal rejected any move, any attempt to buy him. So that is to say, Calafiori is going to deputize for Gabriel.
Yes.
And right now, Kivio is in his highest. From what he showed last season. I mean, if you sell him right now, you could get 30, you could get 35.
Hmm.
And he's not going to get any playing time with Gabriel there. So if he's not going to get any playing time, I think Arsenal should sell.
Then why are we
For
signing
me,
Mosquera?
Mosquera is a backup for Saliba.
Is he right-footed?
And he's right footed.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. I see.
He's right footed. He's not left footed. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That confused me. I thought he was I thought it was
Left
okay.
foot.
That's the kid. That makes sense because Ben White is not
But it is said
proper.
that the belief is that he can play both right and left sides.
Hmm.
So, and of course, we need Saliba to keep
Yeah. Okay. No, that
pressing.
now you said this, it makes sense to me. Because as much as I like Ben White, I don't think our quality drops anytime it
Yeah,
comes in for Saliba, yeah.
but yeah,
But it's going to be a very tough season for Ben White, right?
it
Because if
is.
we're going off of what Timber did last season, Timber doesn't Timber took that right back position for Arsenal to another level.
And it will come as a surprise to some listeners, but I have never always been. No, let me not say I've never always been, but I have always seen Ben White defending
A suspect.
as one suspect.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was why whenever he faced, look, I can remember when a few years ago when he faced uh what's this Japanese guy in Brighton? What
Mitoma.
Toma. Toma.
Yeah.
The, the fans made rival fans made a mockery of him and how he was being used and all that. But you don't ever hear those kind of things against Timber.
Yeah.
Not even when he faced PSG. He had a difficult time against Parscalia.
Hmm.
But in fact, I saw Kvaratskhelia highlights in the first match in the Emirates.
Hmm.
He didn't get one dribble. He made good runs, but he didn't get one successful dribble. The only successful dribble he was supposed to have made was the one Timber went and grabbed him, and before he could do anything, he left him and he fell in
Hmm.
the box, which was not a penalty. So that was the only dribble he was supposed to get. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he succeeded in neutralizing him to an extent, a little at least. On that day, the whole team it was just an off day for
Yeah.
the whole team.
No, I agree.
Nobody could single out Timber and say, oh, he had a torrid day and all that. So for me, Timber is one of the best right backs in the world.
I agree. I
He's
agree. I agree to that. I think it's top notch. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I feel like if you look at it, two players per position, MLS, Calafiori, Zinchenko has to leave us now. I don't know. Nothing has come up yet, but I think he has definitely got to be leaving. Maybe towards the end of the transfer market. But I don't see one
why
single
he's
sense.
here in Milan and all that.
Yeah, I don't see
So
one single. And he probably do well in Italy, funny enough.
yeah, but his wages are the turn off for the Italian clubs.
You definitely have to take a wage cut. There's no point. And that's also why they canceled Tomiyasu's contract because, again, removing
His
the decluttering the wage bill basically. Zinchenko is one of them. They can't do anything about Jesus for now. Even if it was me, I'll cancel Jesus. I'll do the same thing we just did for
That's what I've
yeah.
that. In fact, one of my biggest one of my the grouse I have with Ateta is how he didn't. I mean, why he didn't cancel. I mean, sell them off. Gabriel Jesus and Tomiyasu.
Mhm.
I felt these players should have left at this time last season,
Yep.
the summer of last season, when they were still fit. But we had had 2 seasons of Gabriel Jesus to know that this guy is not going to give you the goals you need.
They're looking for exactly. Is at best a winger.
A winger.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about wingers, he do well on the wings, but permanently on the wings, I don't think he's that kind of player that he's not that darting winger that we want to see.
Yep.
That fiery winger. No, he's not that. So, and sometimes my problem with Gabriel Jesus, I always say he's a good footballer all round. And somebody said the same thing about Calafiori, that this guy is a good footballer all round, but you don't know where to play him precisely.
Hmm.
And that's the same thing with Gabriel Jesus. Are you a midfielder? Are you a striker? Are you a defender? We have seen cases where the team will be defending, Gabriel Jesus will come down to help the team defend. And when we get the ball in the box, he's coming behind.
Yes, it's
Yes,
true.
a good striker is supposed to be in the box at all times. He
Ready
is
to
never
score.
always in the box. He's always outside the box like he's a midfielder.
Exactly. Exactly. Lastly, I know we have like 2 minutes left. Lastly, what's your take on Kai Havertz situation? Now, okay, so because I was just looking at it the other day, people seem to forget that we have Mikel Merino in this team.
And that's
We
that's
still have Mikel Merino. So we have, if I look at our midfield, you have Zubamendi. We're going to, okay, that's it. Okay, and Nordgaard
Lingard,
joining
yes.
us now. You're going to have Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Odegaard, and let's for now just count Ethan Waneri. We're going to have six midfielders. If I take out Ethan Waneri, what do we do with Mikel Merino?
Yeah, but we have four competitions. Four competitions.
Forward?
Four competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, four competitions. You have
Yeah.
the Capital One Cup, I mean, FA Cup, the league, and the Champions League. So, but I'm looking at least 2 players per position.
Mhm.
If you look at Rice at 8, and you look at Merino at 8,
At six. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Merino at
Okay, but go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah.
Merino at 8. 6, you have Christian Nogard and Zubimendi, both
Mhm.
of them at 6. Then one, of course, Nogard deputizing for him. But then you look at Waneri, because Ateta is saying 8, it could be an 8 and a 10.
Mhm.
And now you are bringing in Eze. Eze can play 8, can play 10 too.
Yep.
So there will be too many people in one position or playing 2 positions. You have like 3 players playing one position,
Exactly.
playing, yeah, playing 8, playing 10, and all that. So it's too much. It's
It's
too
too
much.
much. It's too much. Well,
Considering the fact, yeah, considering the fact that we had numerous injuries, I just hope we don't have those kind of
oh my
injuries this
goodness.
season.
Last season was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
Disaster. The gods of football weren't on our side.
Uh, but we know Ateta is not going to sell uh, Havertz this season,
Oh no, no.
or else.
I don't to be honest with you, I'm fine with not selling Havertz. Honestly, I am. I
Well,
look at Havertz now as a second striker for Arsenal. It's not a midfielder. We've debunked that silly myth.
yeah,
He's not a
yeah.
midfielder, he's a striker. So if you have Gyökeres and I have Kai Havertz, I'm okay with that. Again, going by the philosophy of two players per position. So one might play FA Cup and things like so. I'm okay. I don't want to actually don't want to sell Kai Havertz. Keep him in the squad, bring him on, maybe starting in some games, depending on what you're looking for. I'm okay with Kai Havertz. What I have a problem with, I feel like we didn't need Mikel Merino. Right now, if you're going to sign Zubamendi, it's surplus now. But again, who am I to complain? Arsenal has always punished us for not having enough players. Now we have more players. So let's see
But
how
Merino was not brought in to be a 6 per se. He was brought in to be an
an
8.
eight.
He was brought
Yes.
in to be a Zaka kind of
Mhm.
player, kind of a proper replacement for Zaka.
Yeah.
But then
But then
with
we've moved Rice to 8.
rise to 8 permanently.
Yes.
So
So
let's just wait and see what
let's just
Ateta
wait
wants
and
to do.
see. Anyways, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Bear.
All right,
Talk
man.
another time.
It's been good
Thank you.
talking to you. All right, man.
Yeah. All right. Cheers. Yeah.
All right, good night.
All right. Good night.